His ink is the ashes of your dreams. See, I just kind of made that up. But it makes sense, right? Because think about it. Like, there's so many things that we want to have happen in our lives that we've planned out, and maybe we've hoped, like, okay, this is exactly what the plan is, and here's how it's going to unfold. And then all of a sudden, we have to watch it just go up in ashes, just burn up. So now all these hopes and dreams that we've hoped for our lives and things that we've wanted to do, just gone, just burned to ashes. And as confusing as it is in those times, it's easy for us to look at that situation and say, God, are you even there? Do you even see what I'm going through? When in reality, like, our dreams, the best things that we can hope for ourselves, they probably don't even compare to what God's plans are. It's probably even greater than that. So, I mean, is it possible that that is what he uses to write our story, an even better one, a better one that we could even come up with ourselves? A lot of us ask that question, why is my future so cloudy? God, why am I suffering the way that I am? Did I make a mistake? Did I do the wrong thing? Did I mess up somewhere? If we look at some of these old stories, guys like Job, he didn't mess up. He didn't do anything wrong. And he was accused by all these other people saying, oh, you must have done something wrong, dude. Makes no sense why you're having all this stuff happen to you. So it might be possible that God is using your life and your situations, and he's trying to adjust to let you know, yeah, that's a nice goal that you have, but I've got something even better than that for you. See, back then they used to have the masquerade ball. So everybody would show up with this mask on their face. It was a way for them to, I guess, enjoy themselves and be somebody else for a night. It's an interesting concept, but when you apply it to today's world, how many people do we see and we know that live with that mask every day? There's too many people in this world living a double life. They'll go to church and say they're clean. They've got scriptures in their bios and they say, yes, I'm right with God. Yes, that is me. And then the next day comes by and where are they? Sinning, breaking God's law. How can you live these two lives? How can you show up to church with this mask on that, oh, I am right, but then live your own way, your own broken, empty way? See, God didn't come up with all these rules just for us to follow because he's some dictator. And let's be real, he's our creator, even if he wanted to do that. And he said, here, I'll make a heaven for you if you do my crazy rules. I mean, it makes sense to follow them anyway. But the funny part is when he gives us these rules, it's literally to help us have a better lifestyle. It's easy to say, well, that ain't fair. I want to get drunk and I want to party. But how do you feel that next morning? Was it worth it? You got these bad headaches, you're throwing up all night. Is that fun to you? Or think about all the people that you might give your heart to. How many people you think about hooking up with all the time? What happens when time goes by? You've given pieces of your heart to them. You'll never get that back. It just leaves you torn and broken, and now you have a harder time trusting other people. Especially imagine you try to talk to somebody and you find out they cheated on you. How do you feel after that when you should have known God was saying, hey, stay clear from the people that wear this, that act like this. See, you can know God all day long. You can have a great understanding of the Bible and have all this knowledge and all this stuff presented to you that you can convince anybody else and win any argument, but at the end of the day, that's not gonna save you. Think about the thief on the cross. He knew nothing. He didn't know anything about the doctrine of justification by faith. He didn't know any of that. He didn't know what any of that meant. He just knew that he did wrong. He deserved the punishment he was getting. And as he's hanging on the cross, he looks over and he sees Jesus, and he recognizes who he is. In that moment, he repents of his old ways, and he gives his life to Jesus. He said, Lord, please remember me. And then what did Jesus say? You will be with me in paradise. He was terrible his whole life, all the way up till that moment. He wasn't born clean. He didn't live clean, yet he still made it to heaven. Remember when Jesus told Pilate how he was too blind to see? That's a lot of us. There's a lot of us that think, oh, I'm just living free and I'm doing what I want, free will. I don't have people that, some God telling me what to do. You're too blind to see. You're bound by chains. So you think you're in control, but try to stop. Try to stop. You won't be able to. You're stuck forever, tied to this sin that you think you have control over, when in reality, you're a puppet. All day long, you can run as much as you want to, but that empty feeling inside you that's still torn up, that still hurts, that you try to fill with pleasure, and it never stays full, that's what Jesus was talking about with the living water. That will never run dry. You'll never thirst again. That's the thirst that Jesus will quench. You try all these things and all this stuff, and it leaves you empty and broken and depressed. But the people that repent and turn from sin and give their life to Jesus, they find fulfillment and freedom, joy. There's peace of mind finally. So whether you've done good or you've done bad, it doesn't matter. We're all in the same spot where we have equal access to Jesus. So there's good news for you. Look at every Bible character that's ever lived. None of them were perfect. Absolutely none of them except for Jesus. Look at these great characters like David. Guy takes down the giant. Awesome. What does he do? He becomes a king. All these great things, right? He still had his weakness of lust. And it brought him down to do dark things. As great of a person as he was, as revered he is as he is in the Bible, what did he do? Arrange for some guy, some innocent dude to get killed just so he could try to get with his wife. That's dark. Do you think a guy like that deserves heaven? I don't, yet he has it. Why? Because even if you haven't done anything as bad as him, which should be inspiring, right? He does something so dark, he gets forgiven, God still uses him. He's cleansed, he makes it to heaven. Well, imagine what he could do for you. Imagine the great things he has in store for you. Imagine the great life he has in store for you. And then never mind life, imagine how nice it would be to finally go to sleep knowing that no matter what happens to me, no matter what cancer I get, no matter what pain I have to go through, I will make it to heaven at the end of the day, and it will be for eternity. That you'll have that inner peace that I can finally rest. But remember, it takes full commitment. You can't say one thing and do another. You can't say that you claim Christ and walk like Satan. You're no better than anybody. You're lying to yourself. You're trying to tell yourself, oh, I am right, I am clean, because I'm trying. That's not how it works. God says you abandon that lifestyle completely. That's what baptism means. It's a representation that the old you is died and is buried, and the new man comes alive again. You're totally different. You're not the same guy. So now those people that you might go drinking with, tell them about Jesus. Show them the hope that you've been given, the joy that you have. Lead by example. Love people. See, Jesus did sit and eat with the sinners. He didn't separate himself from them to act like he was better than anybody else. He loved everybody equally, and he wanted people to know that you are broken. You're not good just the way you are. You're broken. But I have the answer. You can be free, clean, forgiven, no matter what you've done. You must pay the price, turn from your sin, and put your trust in Jesus.